All right, so we're going to go through how to add fullbacks to the PAC closet library. Now there are two methods for this. We could do an insert type back where you throw up all the panels on the tops and bottoms, then you insert your back into the section. Use PL or trim screws if you need to, and then put your adjustable shelves and fixed shelves in after the fact. And the other method would be to actually line the wall. So let's go through the first method, which is the fullback inserts. You're going to go over to Job Parms, and depending on if you bought the library before September 14th, you may not have this fastener group in here. It's the tightest fullback. If you don't have that, you'll see the download right underneath this video on the coursework on the website, and you can bring that in and just apply this as your fastener group number one. Now the next thing that you want to do for fullback, actually just turn them on. You go into the back category and you can click on backs and then all cabinets. This will turn it on for every single closet section. Okay. What you really want to look for here, you'll know if you did it right, because if you go into wireframe and we turn on show operations, we are going to want to turn our boring back on here. Back on door. So shotgun bore should already be on. I just had it turned off earlier. So when that's on, what you really want to look for is to make sure that these outriggers are lining up with your line bore. If the fixed shelf top or bottom does not line up, then there is a problem. The next thing you want to do is definitely get rid of this back notch, baseboard notch, right? So over in Job Parms, we'll go into the closets category. And then our baseboard notch, we're just going to say no. So we'll turn that off. It's off on everything else. This is probably a special no notch panel. Messing around with that one. That came from a different library. Alright, so we're going to go and pull that panel back in here. So floor stain panel, 96, LED panel, and we'll pull in the 96 left. Alright, that one's all fixed up. So we just had to make sure that our baseboard notch was turned off. Easy enough. And then when you go in here, you'll notice that right now my back is sitting on top of the floor, on top of the bottom, and then underneath the top. And the way we achieve that is we go over to the back category, and we just want to make sure all of these say case depth. All 6 or 7 of these would be case depth. Okay, your library will come with that if you're on version 2, but otherwise you'll just have to turn these over. And then the full backs, we want to make sure that these backs don't go down to the ground. So in the back category, you have this full height plant on back for base. You're going to say no for that one, and that'll bring it up above. Other than that, there's really no other considerations for the full back insert. Now I will show you how to do the other method, which, as long as you have all those parameters checked properly, really all you have to do to turn backs on and off is say none or all backs. You can also do it for a specific cabinet by overriding specific parameters. Now, if you want to just line the wall, that's a really fast method. If you don't care where the seams line up, you can just kind of throw panels in there and go for it. If you do care where the seams are lining up, you're still going to do the same thing to render it. So I will highlight this entire section. It's best to build out the sections first and then add your back liner if you're doing this in Mozaik. And then we'll do 0.75 outset on these sections, so we can slip a 3/4 back there. You could technically do a 1/4 inch back, but not the greatest idea. You could do that for the back inserts, though. 1/4 inch would make it pretty easy. All right, so let's go over to the products. Now that we have our 3/4 outset, And then we're going to go into floor standing panels and then back panels. We'll grab the 96 since these are 96-inch sections. Toss them in there. We toss a couple in here. I'll show you it's might have to bring out the measuring tool. It's a little more work than just adding the insert backs. Put over. Drag it. Make sure it touches. And you could also line it up a little bit past, or you can line it up on these partitions. I'm not going to get too careful with this. I'm going to kind of line these up. Okay, well, we could probably do better. All right, and then if we want this panel to actually travel past, remember we have modular depths turned on, so you have to edit the panel and turn off modular depths. I mean, overall, the video just inserts are probably, but lining the sections is kind of cool. I'll say +3/4. I'll take off the outlet. And our holes will still line up here. Even though we extended this panel, don't have to worry about them not lining up. These outriggers are still lining up with our line bore. Everything looks good. LEDs are a little close, but no one cares about that right now. See, my toes aren't there. It's from a previous video, but I'll go into toe. I'll just make sure continuous toe is turned off. We have those in there. Okay, so that's both methods. That is full insert back, 1/4 inch or 3/4, and then a liner. 3/4 is going to be better for two reasons. One, it'll be a lot flatter when you screw it into the wall or when you PL it in the wall. You won't notice much fluctuation there in smoothness. And then another reason is going to be that you just have all 3/4 material, obviously. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. Like and comment helps me out a ton. Have a great day.